1 minute to the show.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be gone till at least 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. From early in the morning, I got to meet Frank Veritas from the Legends and Heroes to help set up the display. Because then the guys will be really early Saturday morning bringing in bikes. So he's got to get all the easy ups and the backdrops and everything set up for that. And then Saturday, I'll be gone all day. Early. And after the race. So you don't want to go, do you? I didn't think you would. You'll be home watching it on TV. Okay. And we got to wrap up all those shirts for York. It was 17 degrees there this morning. No, Jordan's about to start the show. All right.
You're live.
Let's get down to the starting line, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to see on tonight's show. In the next time try this segment, we're going to be talking about silicone spray and all the uses that it has. In the Moto Showcase, we take a look at a really nice Yamaha YZ250. Here's the problem. We've got some bung questions amongst some other things. I'll be talking about that. Did you know? I got a really, really great story tonight for you on the Yamaha Monoshock. The What's It Worth segment, we take a look. In fact, we have a video of a 1976 Honda CR125. We've got all that and a whole lot more coming up on Vintage Motocross Q&A. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Abadi, and you're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Jordan, Chelsea, and Susie, for helping me put the show together. And thank you, the viewers at home who tune in every week. Don't forget to keep sharing the show, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube. Share the show. Let your friends know that you're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to comment Motion Pro. A little bit later on in the show, we're going to have a random share giveaway winner for someone who does share the show. We're going to give away a sticker sheet like this. More about that in a second. What's next, Jordan? Oh, as usual, we've got that YouTube channel, and it's going great. A lot of people are watching our shows from the past and also listening to our interviews that we've had over the past year and a half or so. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. When you do, you'll get a little alert just like this. Tells you when we're live on YouTube. And the experts, the pros, they're watching the show from their big screen TV while they comment from their phone. It's a great way to watch the show. It's a great way to enjoy it in HD while you comment right from your cell phone. Don't miss any of the show. Thank you, Motion Pro, Racer X, Vintco, Full Circle Racing, Preston Petty Products, Bill's Pipes, Sunrise Vapor Blasting, and Northwest Mako CZ. In tonight's Next Time Try This segment, I want to talk to you about silicone spray. For years, many people have been using WD-40. Great product around the house, good for squeaky hinges and things like that. But it's not the be-all and the end-all to all of your answers. A great product to use is silicone spray like this. Where is it good? You won't believe how many places it's actually great in. Number one, for rubber parts, when you're putting things back together like this fender, little rubber grommets like this are becoming expensive, especially if they're NOS. You want to make sure they're lubricated before you put them through these little holes. You're going to be tempted sometimes to try and pry them into the hole with a screwdriver. If you rip it, that's going to be money down the drain. You don't want to do that. You want to use silicone spray on it. Also, another great place to use it is in your throttle tube. Okay, it dissipates oil, it dissipates moisture, it puts a nice clean lubrication on there that's not going to go away like standard lubricants or WD-40 does. Another great place to use silicone spray, believe it or not, is on the zipper of your race pants. I wonder if these pants still fit me. I don't know. Anyway, on the zipper of your race pants, a great place to use silicone spray. It doesn't stain the fabric, and it keeps away dust, and it doesn't leave a unnatural oily look. So next time you're out there, get yourself some silicone spray. Use it on the zipper of your race pants, the zipper of your jacket. It's great for rubber products. It's great for lubricating plastic against metal, like on a throttle tube. Silicone spray. Get yourself some. You're going to really be happy you did. Tonight's special from Vinco. The air shocks are out there. People are talking about it. They're $795.95. They come in all popular sizes from 13.5 inch up to 17.5 inch. They are assembled in the USA. These are exact replicas of that famous air shock that was popular in the 70s. In fact, all the parts are interchangeable. And a little tip I like to give you people, if you've got some of those shocks from the 70s and you're going out there to get the shafts chrome, take a look at this product from Vinco for $800. I think you're going to be into them for the right money, and you're going to have a brand new part. Absolutely beautiful. They come assembled. All you have to do is add air or nitrogen. Get a hold of them at vinco.com. In the Moto Showcase tonight, we take a look at a 1982 Yamaha YZ250 that was sent in to us by Dylan Lucas. Jordan's going to go through the slides. I'll read to you what Dylan has sent to us. He wanted to share his restored 1982 YZ250. This is the first year water-cooled 250 with the radiator mounted on the triple clamps. The motor has been rebuilt from top to bottom. Many parts have been vapor blasted by my good friend, Robert Fish. The wheels were done by Buchanan in Southern California. The hubs have been Cerakoted. Plastic is all NOS with the exception of the front number plate that I purchased from DC Plastics, and the graphics came from Factline MX. This bike started as a $200 pile of parts and ended up as a showpiece that will be my race bike in 2022. Me and my dad, Brett, have a passion for the 82 Yamaha motocross bikes. We currently own 4 of the 6 YZs available that year. I'd also like to give my uncle, Chris Lucas, a big shout out for helping me with the bike. Well, Dylan, I'll tell you, that's a great looking YZ that you have there. And for sending that in, we're going to get you a cup just like this, little coffee mug, compliments of Vintage Motocross Q&A and Preston Petty products. Great bike. Get me your address. I'll get you a coffee mug. The Preston Petty special this week is a fender combination. You get 2 red fenders. They come in other colors as well. Just $125.50 with 3 white number plates. So that's 2 fenders, 3 white plates, $125.50. And Preston Petty Products is still looking for dealers. It'd be a great time to become a dealer for Preston Petty as well. So get a hold of Paul Stannard. He'll set you up as a dealer. You'll get some really great benefits from that and from all the Preston Petty products across the board. Thank you, Paul Stannard, for all you do for us here at the show. And here's the problem segment tonight. Jordan, what do we have up first? Bud Stewart, I have a Honda steel gas tank. It's for a Z50. It's got a broken petcock nipple. Is there such thing as a replacement part that can be welded on? Yeah, there actually is, and it's called a bung. And there's a place that sells these things for all different types of applications. A lot of guys make custom gas tanks, or they have a problem like you have to where they've stripped out the bung, the threaded part of their gas tank, or they want to add a different type of a petcock. Yes, you can get them, and you can get them in steel where you could weld them into a steel tank. But the great news is they also come in aluminum as well. And they come in male and in female. So if you go online and you look up gas line or gas petcock gas bungs, you'll find something that you're looking for there. And they do come in a variety of different threads and different sizes. So yeah, you're not out of luck. There is a way to repair that. And especially for a little Z50, I'm sure you want to keep the right tank on that bike. Thanks for the question. Mark Warren, Joe, I followed your suggestion and tried lab metal to repair dozens of tiny little marks that I have in this Husky clutch cover. It was magical. It worked perfectly. I've used that stuff before. I know other people that have too, Mark. I want to thank you for following up with that and telling us how well that stuff really worked. Lab metal is a great product. And unlike epoxy and JB Wells and things like that, lab metal is ready right out of the can. And when that stuff hardens up, you can sand it beautifully. From what I understand, it has really so much metal in there that I've heard from people that you can actually use it if you were powder coating parts as well. Lab metal. Great product. Thanks for following up with that information for us, Mark. Jeff Koski, I saw your tip on masking off heads in a recent episode of Vintage Motocross Q&A. I had these 3/4-inch stickers left over from when I was a kid, and they worked pretty well, just sharing an easier way to do it. Jeff Koski and his stickers. Well, aren't you special, Jeffrey? Every week you come up with something, don't you, these days? It's actually a great little tip, Jeff. And yeah, there are little 3/4-inch stickers like that. You can put them over like the head of your bike where you don't want paint to get on there, where your head bolts come down and where torquing is kind of critical. So yeah, Jeff kind of stepped it up a little bit with his sticker idea. So Jeff's a good guy and a big supporter of the show. So I did want to share that with everybody. Thanks, Jeff.
I'm Dave Arnold. You're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A with Joe Abadi. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, Brandon here with Motion Pro, bringing you the Trick New Pro Plug sockets from Motion Pro. The Pro Plug sockets are a very clever design. They're heavy tool steel construction for durability. They feature a slim skeleton design for hard to reach heads and cylinders, and they feature a really innovative retention system. This retention system is mechanical and it's not a rubber grommet, so you're never going to battle between the spark plug and the socket. So the socket is always going to be easy and firm to attach to the spark plug, but also it's going to be easy to remove. So you're not going to have to go fishing in those deep well heads to get that socket out. Now the socket features a couple of different drive components. You can use a 17 mil open end wrench, a 3/8 drive socket, as well as a through axle, right? So you've got a couple of different ways you can use this product. Now we have these available in 3 different sizes, and those 3 different sizes are 16, 18, and 21, available to fit most model motorcycles, V-twin as well as metric. Retail starts at $21.99 up to $22.99, available from your favorite retailer nationwide.
Up next is the What's It Worth segment, but before we get to that, I mentioned something a little bit earlier about a random share giveaway winner and a sticker sheet like this. The random share giveaway winner will be announced on the page tomorrow on Vintage Motocross Q&A on Thursday. So check back there and you'll find out who tonight's random share giveaway winner is. And let's get on to the What's It Worth segment. We've got something really special for you tonight. We've got a video of a 1976 Honda CR125. This is, of course, the part of the show where I encourage you, the viewers at home, to guess how much you think this bike recently sold for. We've got a great description coming up in this video. Jordan, let's roll the video. And don't forget, type in your best guess of what you think the bike sold for.
Hello, what we have here today is a genuine barn find. It's a 1976 Honda CR125. Looks like the bike was ridden hard and put away wet. Anyways, we're going to go over the bike and show you what I know about it. I don't know a lot about it other than we drug it out of the barn. And it does have a nice clean tank. The tank's a metal tank. It's clean inside. And that looked like it had been never coated. But it is a clean, you can see the metal in the tank. It's clean. I don't know if you can see that or not. But we took a picture of it as well. The bike looks like it has the original forks on it. Everything looks like it's complete. The aluminum rims, the fork legs are good. Just the old plastic fender. The front number plate is here. It's got the wide bars, 1976. Looks like somebody changed the head with an aluminum head. Looks like it's an aftermarket head. It says Webco. You can see they might have had the side cases open at one time, but from what I understand, it ran when it was parked. It's got the original Mikuni carburetor. Looks like everything's stock, original shocks. As I said, the wheels are aluminum. The frame's never been cut or broke. It all looks complete, the swing arm and everything. Walking around this way, the seats just about had it. And, it has the kickstands there. The frame, again, is complete. Original shocks. Looks like there's something broken here. on this side cover. I'm not sure what exactly, if there was another piece here, if it went out further or what. It is what it is. And again, it's just a complete bike. If somebody wants to restore it or get it running and ride it, it's mostly there. So that's about all we know about it. Good luck bidding. That's it. That's a wrap.
Well, there you have it. And the bike did sell in Pennsylvania on November 28th, 2021. How much do you think that bike sold for? $700, $800? $900? This bike sold for $1,300. $1,300 I thought was a little rich at $1,300, although somebody probably reached a little further for it because it did have the Webco aftermarket head, kind of a hot item, probably worth $400 or $500. But other than that, yeah, a little rich. Anyway, that's what somebody thought it was worth, $1,300, and that's what they paid for it. $1,300. 76 CR125 Honda. Full Circle Racing still has a great offer for powder coating your hubs. Get them up to Tom McAllister. He'll make them either satin black or gloss black for just $50 a hub. For a couple of bucks more, he'll do the bracking plate. He'll also do it in a custom color for a $20 fee one time. So get up there to Tom McAllister at Full Circle Racing for all your off-road, on-road, dual-purpose spokes, rims, whatever it has to do with wheels. Full Circle Racing is your one-stop shop. Did you know? This is a great little segment we put together to bring you something a little interesting and the history of motocross. And I'm going to tell you, I will explain to you about what's going on in the Did You Know segment tonight. The monoshock design. Everybody's familiar with it. Almost every bike today has a single shock. But back in 1971, it was actually Rod Coster and Sylvain Gabors who were riding for Suzuki at the time. They were both famous riders in Belgium, famous throughout the world at that point. And there was a gentleman there by the name of Lucien Tilkens who had an idea to redesign the suspension for motocross. And he came up with a design that you see here. What you see here is the first monoshock design. It was built around a CZ and it used a Citroen car shock. And they put that together and they tested that bike. Now that bike was considerably much heavier than the bikes that Sylvain Gabors and Roger DeCosta were riding at the time, and they suggested that Lucien Tilkens try and get that design onto the Suzuki. And they took some spare parts that Sylvain Gabors had, and they did build a monoshock bike. They offered it. The lap times were incredible. They offered it to Suzuki, but Suzuki was a little disillusioned with the single shock design because Lucien Tilkens couldn't really explain to them mathematically why it worked better. Suzuki passed on it, and as you saw in some other pictures before, Yamaha thought it was a great idea, and they did purchase the patent from Lucien Tilkens. 1972, they hired Hakan Andersson to come in and do some research and development on the new monoshock. In 1973, Hakan Andersson became a world champion on the first works monoshock Yamaha. And from that day on, we began to see single shock bikes. Well, not that day on, but by 1975, Yamaha came out with the 360 and the 250 YZs. In 1975, they also had the 250 and 400B monoshock, the YZ 125C in 76, and so on. And that's how the single shock began to evolve. And today, of course, everybody has a single shock. And Yamaha ran that basic same design of that triangulated swing arm with the shock going up underneath the frame and the gas tank, or underneath the seat in the gas tank, up until 1981 when they came up with a lever and they started adding linkages to it. So yeah, that design stuck around for quite a bit. That's how it came about. Roger DeCosta, Sylvain Gabors, and of course, Lucien Tilkens. And if you want to see that bike, go over to mxworksbikes.com. Terry Good's got a great article on it on his website. Did you know? Now you do. That segment was brought to you by Sunrise Vapor Blasting. Mark Ferrier does a great job with all the parts that everybody is sending him. He's doing a wonderful job for me here at the shop. We've been sending him stuff every week. In fact, I've got a couple of things right here. Hey, Jordan, can you cut that video for a second? There you go. Because everybody sees that video every week and they hear me with the same spiel. But let me tell you something. Here's a set of lower forks right here. This is one that I got back from Mark Farriester, who vapor blasted it, okay? Took off all the clear coat, everything that was on it, made it absolutely beautiful. Now, this is the other one that came with it. When I got it back from Mark Farriester, It was so easy to polish. It was absolutely incredible because the aluminum was so clean. It was very, very easy for me to polish. And then I put a little brush finish on it with some Scotch-Brite. And I'll tell you right now, for all the years that I've been restoring bikes and doing things with lower fork legs as far as sanding and bead blasting and all this other stuff that goes on, I don't think I will ever again take a set of lower fork legs and not give them to Mark Farriester or Sunrise Vapor Blasting. He does an absolutely incredible job. His turnaround time is phenomenal, and his prices are exceptionally reasonable, okay? Get a hold of Mark Farriester, Sunrise Vapor Blasting. I'm showing it to you right here on the show. He does it for me, and there are a lot of other guys that are using that service as well. Thank you, Mark Farriester and Sunrise Vapor Blasting. We are going to take a commercial break. Don't forget to keep sharing the show. And on the page tomorrow, we will announce the winner of the sticker sheet compliments of Vinco.com.
Classic and vintage dirt bikes are more than a hobby. It's not just about the ride. It's about the work that goes in. The work that keeps you connected to the ride. It's about bringing the bike back to life and doing it with your own hands. It's about the adrenaline and adventure. And when it comes to putting all the pieces together, only Vinco knows the bikes and parts the way you do. Vinco, keep the ride going.
This Week in MX History, brought to you by Racer X Magazine. It's available on your newsstand now and also online. Racer X, don't forget to see our ad in the back of every issue. Jordan, what do we got up first? 1977, Black Sheep and the Indians. I bet you had no idea about this. Cycle News reported good news for day riders at Indian Dunes. The popular riding facility would not be closed during the days where the hit TV show Black Sheep was filming there on their 600-acre riding facility. The show starred battery pitchman Robert Conrad as Major Greg Pappy Boyington, leader of the Marine Attack Squadron 214, known as the Black Sheep in World War II. You remember that show, Black Sheep? Oh, what's up next, Jordan? 1979, Can-Am, 4 years later. Can-Am, 4 years after being removed from being the winner of the 1975 AMA Supercross Championship with Jimmy Ellis, they announced that their 1979 lineup would be led by former factory Suzuki rider and three-time AMA national champion Tony DiStefano. And joining Tony D on the Can-Am were Rich Irstead, Greg Robertson, Kippy Pierce, and an upcoming California rider named Donnie Hansen. This team would start out the season on the Florida Winter Am Tour before going all in for the 1979 AMA Toyota Supercross Championship. You know, I didn't know Donnie Hansen rode for Can-Am in 79. I knew after his career with Honda, he did go back to Can-Am at the end, but I didn't know he was with them in 79. I knew he was with Mako a little bit. Anyway, enough about the history that I know. Let's go on with the history that we're hearing tonight, 1996. Yeah, Showtime, The Rock, and the Beast in the early stages of his epic 13-race win streak in the 1996 AMA Supercross Championship. Team Honda's Jeremy McGrath won the Minneapolis Supercross at the old Metrodome. Yamaha's Damon Bradshaw, the Beast from the East, back from a nearly 2-year hiatus, finished second, while Suzuki's Mike LaRocco was third. In a combined 125 East-West race, Yamaha's Kevin Windham topped Pro Circuit's Kawasaki's Michel Pichon for the main event win. 13 races in a row for McGrath. Wow, what a run that was. And that's what's happening in MX history. We've got some announcements tonight. The announcements are brought to you by Bill's Pipes. Tell you more about them a little bit later. Oh, we'll do it right now. You can check out Bill's Pipes online, and the best place to really see what's going on at Bill's Pipes is on their Facebook page. They make a lot of pipes. They go back over 20 years, but go to their Facebook page. You can correspond with them a little bit easier there. There are also some phone numbers and emails, so you can get a hold of Bill's Pipes and see if they make a great expansion chamber for the bike that you're riding. Bill's Pipes. This weekend, I am looking forward to it. After 2 years of no Supercross here in California, I will be at the Legends and Heroes Tour display all day Saturday. So if you're in the Oakland area and you're going down to the Supercross, please stop by and say hello. I'll be there all day. We've got over 20 bikes that we will be displaying there. So Frank Reedus, the Legends and Heroes Tour, back on the road. They were down in at A1 last week, had a huge turnout, huge. Looking forward to seeing everybody at Oakland this Saturday. Stumpjumpers Motorcycle Club has the Desert 100 coming up. That's on April 3rd, 2022. That is in Odessa, Washington. They have a vintage class. This is a one-lap race, but it's a 50-mile loop. Wow. 86 and older for vintage. One lap, 50 miles. Jordan was at the one last year. There's a picture of Jordan Woodworth right there. So you've got the Stumpjumpers MC. Desert 100, April 13th, 2022 in Odessa. The Pacific Northwest Vintage Riders has their schedule up. I'm going to be posting that on our page too, on the Vintage Motocross page. There's also another great group out there called it's something about all of the American Vintage Motocross events. I'm going to start bringing that on the show. But right now, if you're a Pacific Northwest rider, their schedule is out and they've got a whole lot of stuff coming up. Check them out online. You know what? Now that we're talking about it, why don't you send in your club's events, whether you're back in the Potomac Vintage Riders area, the Northeast region, the Southeast region, wherever you are. And it doesn't matter if you're an AHRMA group or an independent group. Get a hold of me. Get a hold of me, and we'll put it on. We'll put it on the show here so people know some of the events that are coming up. It's next weekend. The Potomac Vintage Riders, the York Swap Meet. I'm really looking forward to this. I will be there. The Potomac Vintage Riders have their banquet on Saturday night, and then all day, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning at the York Fairground, the Potomac Vintage Riders have the York Swap Meet. It's going to be huge. The event is sold out for vendors. Over 370 vendors will be are available and selling parts, so I can only imagine how many people are going to be there. There's still room in the bike corral. I think the bike show is sold out. I don't think there's any more room in the bike show, but if you want to sell a complete bike, there's still some room left there. I hope to see you there. I'm looking forward to getting back east, and we'll be there. Potomac Vintage Riders, York Swap Meet, coming up next Sunday. Not this Sunday, next Sunday. The Finish Line, brought to you by Northwest Mako CZ. Northwest Mako CZ has a special this week for brake shoes, and they're only $15. This is absolutely an incredible offer, and I'm going to tell you why. These brake shoes fit 1979 XR80s all the way up to the 2013 CRF 150, and about 40 bikes in between, including the XR 200 from 89, 83. You got to go on the page. Go over to Northwest Mako CZ. These brakes for $15, brand new, and they fit like 40 different bikes. Thank you, Alan Brown and Northwest Mako CZ. Vintage Motocross Q&A t-shirts and hoodies are still available, just $19.99. They come in gray and white for a few bucks more. You can get yourself a hoodie. Follow the link in the show description. Get a picture of yourself. We'll get it on the show. Vintage Motocross Q&A sponsorship opportunities are still available. Get a hold of me. I'll get you a sponsorship proposal package. We're hitting about 20,000 people a week, sometimes almost 90,000 people a month, always 80,000. People are sharing the show constantly. They're showing it on Facebook. It's also available on 2 television stations out on Long Island, LTV. So there's a lot of reruns going on. A lot of people are seeing it, and you might want to get a hold of me for a sponsorship opportunity package. You'll see all the results that all of our other sponsors are seeing here behind me. Preston Petty, Vinco, and everyone else. But I think that about wraps it up for the show tonight. I want to thank you for joining me at Vintage Motocross Q&A. Thank you, Jordan, for helping me put the show together. And don't forget to join us next week. And I think we're going to have a really special show coming up the week after. I'm going to be bringing you a show from that York Swap Meet that we just talked about a little while ago. Thanks for watching Vintage Motocross Q&A. I'm Joe Abadi. I'll see if I can get a hold of him. Gino! Tomorrow you'll find out who won the sticker sheet from Vinco. Come on, Rocco. Thanks for watching, everybody.